Losing a loved one is probably the saddest thing that can happen to us. And not only is the moment of loss bad, but so is the recovery, as grappling with that loss can sometimes be just as hard as losing that someone special in the first place. This sadness and mourning, if left unchecked, can turn into severe depression and a questioning of one's own sanity. Imagine going through the saddest thing in your life with no support. How would you feel? We can see how loss affects the main characters of Kafka on the Shore and In the Skin of a Lion. In the Skin of a Lion, we see the main character Patrick lose himself in his grief and try to keep the one he lost alive by adopting her political beliefs. This leads to him burning down a hotel and almost blowing up a waterworks. Odds are this could have been avoided if there was a system in place to help people dealing with grief from day one. With Kafka on the Shore, we see Kafka run away from home, which is a correlation from his mother and sister leaving him and his father when he was 4. While still dealing with this loss, he believes that anyone who looks like his mother or sister's age to be them, which is a telltale sign of someone who's not over their loss. Again, with proper systems in place, Kafka would have had someone to fall back on that wasn't his father, who did nothing to help him. Over just the last couple of decades, new studies have told us so much more about how we deal with loss and effective ways of handling it, but there's still work that needs to be done. We also need better systems in place to help these people dealing with loss move on and become more than just their grieving. Things like free therapy and counseling are essential so that everyone who is dealing with loss can hope to become better. Not only does grief affect mental health, but it also affects physical health too. Consuming grief can increase your chances of heart problems, high blood pressure, and even cancer. These people yearn for their loved ones every day, and it takes a massive toll on them. The problem is that we have ways to help, they just aren't readily available to everyone. Studies have shown that cognitive therapy can help these victims work past their depression and post-traumatic stress and eventually work past their grief. Only problem is, therapy is expensive, and it's not just the rich that grieve. Also, after losing a loved one, it can take a while to be diagnosed with depression, meaning antidepressants may be harder to come by, and therapy may not be covered by insurance, clearly showing the problem with our system in place that's supposed to help these victims. If we as a society want to properly help those who have lost someone, then there should be a complete overhaul of the system, starting with readily available counseling and support for all stages of grief. Unless we want to see real-world consequences, like the ones we see in Kafka on the Shore and In the Skin of a Lion, we need change, and we need it now.